This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos Cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos Cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we'll be covering the support that was revealed for Greedon, Avantgarda, as well as Welstra. I will be wrapping up DBT12 really soon. Judging from the support that are left from DBT12, I don't think there's a lot, but at the same time, there is still a lot of support that I need to go through. We'll just go ahead and start off with these three, which does receive at least 2 cards of support for DBT13, and it does change them quite a bit in terms of how you want to build the deck, as well as some of the options that they bring to the table, which does makes the deck a little bit better, I would say. I mean, the winner of this round support, I think, is going to be Avantgarda, because it does significantly change how the deck is going to be played. Without further ado, let's take a look at what are the supports that these 3 right lines actually receive in DBT13. Starting off for Greedon, we have Desire Devil Gouzuk. Although when this unit is put from Richter Circle into Soul, cost put 2 cards from your hand into Soul, choose a card with Greedon in its card name from your Soul and put it into the hand. This common card actually minus your hand to get Greedon from the Soul to hand. Generally, minusing your hand is very bad, but it does gives you a confirmed personal right the next turn. So this card, I think, is more so for the OG Greedon rather than the Greedon Mass deck build. Greedon Mass does not really need this card because of obvious reason. You don't really need like a specific card to be put into the Soul for the whole deck to function. So it's more so for the OG Greedon, because the OG Greedon do have support cards like these 2 here, which does activate their skills when they are in the Soul. But the problem here is that why not just call these 2 cards out onto the field instead of waiting for this card to be put into the Soul? Does not really make sense, right? It's okay, it's a common card. You don't necessarily need this card, unless of course there is another card within Dark States that actually activates skill. When that card is put into the Soul, there's not much value in terms of running this card. 1 or 2 support cards in the future might just change how this card functions, but for now it's not really a good card. Next, we have Desire Devil Mousheen, a boar. Auto Soul, when your Vanguard with Greedon in its card name attacks, if it is the second battle of this turn and you do not have a rear guard with the same card name as this card, you may call this card to Richter Circle. If you call it until the end of turn, this unit cannot be put to Soul by a Vanguard's ability and gets 5k power. So it basically increases the number of attacks regardless of which version of Greedon you're playing. I mean, I do know some of you guys wanted to play purely the OG Greedon without the mass stuff. 5 attacks for Greedon Mass and up to 4 attacks for the OG Greedon. I say up to 4 attacks because you don't necessarily like will have a full board or, you know, another rear guard attack, so you could make up to 4. But of course, the Greedon Mass deck will be able to make up to 5, which is very disgusting. Of course, the first attack of either of these builds will not have the Batadori effect. The Goman skill only activates when he is put from the Richter Circle to the Soul, which in turn will only be sent to the Soul from Richter Circle by activating Greedon's skill. So no matter what, the first attack will never have Batadori, unless you do decided to attack with the OG Greedon first and then activate Fujo's skill. But in terms of Greedon Mass, you're basically just sacrificing that one attack for a Batadori skill, which does not really change a lot. For OG Greedon, it does change just a little bit, not much, just a little bit, but it just comes down to how you want to formulate your attack. For Greedon Mass, in order to get the 5 attacks with 4 attacks Batadori, is to attack with a rearguard first and then proceed to the Vanguard to then activate this unit's skill to superior call on top of the attack rearguard, which will then net you 5 attacks with 4 attacks being Batadori. Very disgusting. OG Greedon is whatever. You don't really have a lot of rearguards attack anyway, so yeah, it's a very nice card and can be reused the next turn, provided of course if you put this into the Soul with Greedon skill and this card managed to survive until the next turn. There's a lot of variables, so just keep in mind that it is possible. Very nice card, but not exactly what Greedon will need, but it's a very nice tech-in option for Greedon to squeeze in more attack. Moving on to Avantgarda. First off, we have a new grade 3 boss unit, Blue Deathster, Cavalry, Skyrender, Avantgarda, Richter. Yeah, the name just keeps getting longer and longer. Active hand. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost, reveal this card and bind a blue Deathster, Skyrender, Avantgarda on Vanguard Circle. Write this card as stand, and it gets all of the original active ability of the card bound for this cost until the end of turn. Second skill, auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit attack. If your Soul has blue Deathster, Sora period, cost, discard 2 cards from your hand. Choose a blue Deathster, Skyrender, Avantgarda from your bind zone. Write it as stand, and it gets 10k power and drive -1 until the end of turn. I actually just realized an error while recording this part of the section and I went ahead and changed something. So this card right here is a little bit complicated in terms of how the interaction works with Skyrender Avantgarda. So let's break this card down in terms of what it does. Going second with Avantgarda just became more dangerous because since this card is restricted to the opponent needing to be at grade 3, only then you're able to superior right into this card to just go roll a stupid in terms of your restanding skill. This card basically forces the opponent to guard if you did not personal right that turn, because if the opponent chooses to no guard every single attack, it basically means that this card is able to attack for up to 3 times, and all 3 times are Vanguard attacks. It's very stupid. Of course, if you do personal right, you are basically confirmed to be attacking for 3 times during the personal right turn. The reason why you're not able to attack for 4 times is that the moment you rewrite back down into Skyrender Avantgarda, you no longer have the restanding skill. Basically, that Skyrender Avantgarda is treated as a new unit. So at the end of this whole combo, you are net 1 card. Do be very careful as you do kind of minus yourself in order to do the whole combo, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because you don't really use a lot of hand size to basically build a board. The whole right line basically just superior call itself if you choose not to take any strategy order. The way I see this deck is that you don't really use a lot of hands in terms of calling your rear guards. It's basically just the center attacking. I mean, you do have your rear guards. I mean, you for sure will have rear guards. It's just most of them are going to be combined rusher as well as the cycle card. It's a very scary deck, mind you. Even without this card, Avantgarda is a very scary deck. One more thing to keep in mind is that the strategy order card that you put to the soul, it does gives whatever Vanguard you have whatever strategy skill. I think there is one strategy set order that basically gives the Vanguard the ability to give your front row the 5k power or 10k power when you attack. The moment you ride down into the other Avantgarda, you will no longer have that strategy set order skill, so do be very careful. However, other than that strategy order, the other 2 is actually very scary because the other 2 strategy set orders skill actually do carry forward when you ride back down into Avantgarda. It's very stupid since you will be able to put up to 2 strategy set order from the set order into the soul by using the OG skill before you rewrite into this guy here, which will then copy whatever Avantgarda skill to then put another strategy set order into the soul. Yeah, the grade 2 and the grade 1 is able to still carry forward their effects. It's very stupid. Of course, you don't really get the power onto whatever your Vanguard is, but still having the skill to basically deny the opponent to not be able to activate Blitz order as well as prevent any interceptor on the field for all 3 attacks, it's very disgusting. Took me a while to basically understand the implication of this guy, but I'm telling you, it's very stupid. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ruling dispute for this guy in terms of how the strategy set order is gonna function. The next card for Avantgarda is Blue Deathster Asagi Milestone. Although when this unit is placed on Richter circle, if you have a Vanguard with Blue Deathster in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, choose a grade 3 or greater card with Avantgarda in its card name from your drop and put it into your hand. Second skill, continuous Richter circle. If your strategy card was put from order zone into soul this turn, this unit gets 5k power. So this is basically a 18k stapler card to recycle the new grade 3 Avantgarda or personal right back to hand for the next turn. Due to how reliant this whole deck is on personal right, this card is just really good to basically get the personal right, but it's more so for the next turn, not really much for the third turn if you're going first. But still, it's more so to recycle the new grade 3 Avantgarda in order to like just keep the Vanguard attacking skill going. It's really disgusting, especially on the third turn while going second. You are significantly weakened if you are going first because you have to rely on the OG Avantgarda to hit in order to activate skill, but still having that on hit pressure is just really nice. It basically forces your opponent to guard or take the damage. However, since the new Avantgarda does goes into the soul, you will need to find a way to soul blast the new Avantgarda back out into the drop zone in order for you to recycle. I'm sure there are going to be cards that soul blast and Brangate. I just can't think of it from the top of my mind. But yeah, it's still a very nice interaction with this support card. It also does opens up for you to discard the new Avantgarda to ride from the right deck since you are able to just get it back anyway. Very nice. This card is going to be a stapler card alongside the other grade 1 card that Avantgarda received. For only 1 counterblast, you're able to do all of that stuff the 3 Vanguard Vanguard attack combo and the strategy skill. It's just disgusting. Moving on to Welstra, we have Blitz Security Chief Herumzie. Auto Rigger Circle. When you operate a product, costs Soul Blast 1 and this unit gets 10k power until the end of turn. This is a chunky attacker. The more you operate, as well as you keep Soul Blasting to give itself the 10k power, it's just gonna stack power on top of power on top of power. For some reason, it's not once per turn and can continue to gain power as long as you have soul as well as you operate. The only problem that we have for this unit's skill is that it's going to be really apparent that we are going to have a soul issue for Welstra, because Operate Master Frankshot here is costing 2 soul already. As I see right now, your soul count is basically just the bare minimum soul. You have enough soul to basically activate like 3 to 4 times of Frankshot, and then your soul is just basically dry after that. So, but still, this is a common. It's not going to be in the deck for now because he doesn't really do a whole lot in terms of utility for Welstra, because Welstra is a deck that requires a lot of utility in order to function. Unfortunately, this card does not really provide that utility, which is sad. Next, we have Blitz Assistant Sortien. Auto Rigger Circle. When a grade 2 or greater product is put into your auto zone, put this unit into the soul and countercharge 1. So this is basically like a cheaper Boba Mine option, although Boba Mine is still the superior choice. It's the difference between this card and Boba Mine. Both of these cards are actually doing the same thing. It's just when you are getting the soul as well as countercharge. Product at the moment will only be set into the auto zone during the main phase. I don't think Welstra is a deck that they are going to set a product card during the battle phase. Most of these set orders are going to be into the auto zone during the main phase. So it's either you want the countercharge and the soul resources during the battle phase or the main phase. The reason why this card is here is because it does help with skills that require counterblast during the main phase. But of course, this card is essentially a wasted 8k booster because you can't really take advantage of this card, unlike Boba Mine, because Boba Mine will go to soul during the battle phase after he's boosted. So you will have more value out of Boba Mine than this card here. Their implications, although the same, but in terms of when they activate their skill is a little bit different, which will definitely help you in different scenario. I don't think you want to run both in the deck because you have space issues, obviously. The better option that I would suggest is that you should only play this if you do not have access to Boba Mine. That's basically what I can recommend you. Very nice card, and I think it does gives more option for Welstra players to basically consider on their deck build, as well as save some money for the wallet. Last but not least is Blitz Accounting Department Staff Berjina. Everyone gone crazy when they saw this being a support card for Welstra. Auto, when this unit is placed on Rigger Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Welstra in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, choose a product from your auto zone and operate it. Second skill, Auto Rigger Circle once per turn. When a product in your auto zone is operated by another card's ability, cost Soul Blast 2 and draw a card. So this support card is really good in terms of being a on place to operate without any restriction is really good. At the moment, the operate card that we currently have, most of them are restricted to if you do not operate, then operate. We don't really have like a lot of cards that do operate without any restriction. And since this card is on place, you can just return her back to hand with Frankshot maximum skill. It's just really good. Soul Blast 2 to draw whenever a product is operate is gonna be really good. But once again, of course, since you are Soul Blasting 2, soul is gonna be a very big issue in this deck. You will just have to be very careful in terms of how much soul you are using. It does encourage you to soul charge with this grade 2 product order card, but that is not really a way for you to go because it does leaves you vulnerable to decking out. Yeah. Be very careful in terms of how you want to build this deck and what product order card that you want to operate, because decking out apparently is going to be a big issue with this new support card. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think of the support for these 3 right lines. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.